So you want to create an ad campaign on Meta from scratch. Well, you come to the right place because I'm going to show you how to do just that. This is the absolute best way to structure your ad campaign for success, and you don't have to deal with detail targeting or lookalike audiences or any of that stuff that people are talking about. I'm going to show you how to structure your ad campaign for success using an actual client account, and we're going to walk through it from beginning all the way until the end right before we hit publish. So follow along step by step. It's simple, it's easy, and it works. So let's jump right in.
Depending on where you are in your journey, you may need to create a business manager account or you may need to create an ad account from the very beginning. If you don't have a business account, you can go to business.facebook.com to see if you have one. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff after the forward slash. Just go to this address, and then if you see and you should have a business account and you should be good to go. If you don't, just make sure that you go to facebook.com/business/tool/ Meta Business Suite, Meta Dash Business Suite, and then click on the Start Now button, and that'll walk you through all of the steps to get your business manager set up. This is the business manager right here. That you'll be able to create your ad account from. So if you're in the business manager, you can click on ad accounts and then you should see your ad account here. So this is different than the business manager. So you've got the business manager and you've got your ad account. So those are two separate things. You want to create a new ad account if you don't have one already or if you don't see it listed here. This one has already been created and they already have a business manager, so we are set to go from there. But that's the very beginning steps of it. So first things first is once you have your ad account created, you're going to click on it and then you can click on Open in Ads Manager. And if you already have an Ads Manager account and you've been running ads before, great. Then you just can go to adsmanager.facebook.com and go straight into your business manager. Make sure that you have the right account here. Sometimes it'll pull up your personal ad account or a different business if you have multiple. So just make sure that you're in the right ad account here. All right, so this is your dashboard essentially. You've got the date range here that you can adjust accordingly, however long you want to look back if you've been running ads before. And this is the campaign level. This is the ad set level, and this is the ads. So if you think of it as a hierarchy, campaigns are at the very top. Right after, underneath that is your ad set, and then underneath that is your actual ad itself. So campaigns are basically the objective that you want to accomplish, whether that is registrations, sales, whatever the conversion action is, you set that up on the campaign level. Underneath that, again, is the ad set level, which is where you are targeting these ads or who you are targeting these ads to. And we'll get more in depth on each of these levels in a minute. And then underneath the ad set, so the campaign is what you want, your objective. Ad set is the audience, who are you targeting? And the ad itself, obviously, is self-explanatory. It's the ad, the image, the copy, the text that you are showing to the people that are in the ad set so that they can accomplish the conversion objective of the campaign. So hopefully that all makes sense. It'll probably make more sense as we get into it. But yeah, so this is how it kind of goes. You're going to click on the green Create button. That's going to start things off. And just make sure that when you do, you are always in the campaign level. Sometimes if you are in the ad set level, right, see how it's kind of highlighted on this tab, and you click Create from here, you are actually creating an ad set within the campaign. So you need to take a step back and go back to the campaign level to make sure that you're creating the very top level first. So we're going to click on Create. This will tell you what is the campaign objective. The bidding type is always an auction. I don't think I've ever used reservation. Yeah, in all my years of advertising, I've never used that. So always an auction style bid. You are going to, depending on what your objective is, if it's leads, if it's sales, if you want engagement or something like that, I would stay away from traffic. I would stay away from awareness. I mean, those things, they sound sexy and they sound fun, but they're really not anything to do with your objective for the most part. If you want leads or you want sales, these will probably be the two things that you would you would want to focus on. Again, and sales also covers conversions. It covers getting messages on Messenger or WhatsApp or Instagram. So this covers a wide variety of things. So for this particular campaign, since we are driving to a website to ask for leads, essentially, is I'm going to choose the leads campaign. So if I click on leads, I click on continue. Um, Facebook has been pushing for a more automated way of building campaigns. We're not fully there yet, and I still, there are still quirks in the system that I just don't want to deal with. So I would advise doing a manual setup and following what we're going to do on this training here. So we'll do manual lead setup. This one is very much an automated system to try and make it as uh, less detailed as possible. However, there's much less control if you use the recommended settings. This one, you have much more granular control over where ads are shown. Eventually, this will get there, but for now, stick with a manual lead setup. I'll click continue. Okay, so now we are in the leads campaign. So remember, there's a campaign, there's the ad set, and then there's the ad underneath that. So the campaign name, we can call it whatever we want. This is only for internal. You're the only people that are going to see it. So this is whatever your reference, frame of reference, or if you have a naming template or what have you. I usually just put my own template on there, which is what the campaign objective is, what the offer is, and any other relevant information. So let me fill this out. Okay, so I usually put the nomenclature that we use in our agency. So these are our agency initials. DCT is Dynamic Creative Test, and I'll explain what that means in just a second. TOF is top of funnel, so we're doing this to a completely cold audience. This is not a remarketing campaign. We're not retargeting anyone. This is going strictly to a cold audience that may or may not have heard of the brand before. This is the offer, which is an opt-in into from a website page, and then obviously the date. So that's just our own frame of reference. That's how we usually name things. Feel free to name it however you want. Special ad categories. Don't really need to apply these unless you are dealing with credit, employment, housing, social issues or politics, that type of thing. So if you are not dealing with that, then feel free to just skip this. Okay, campaign details. Again, this is a leads campaign because that's what we want. That's our objective. So if your objective is sales, obviously you would choose sales. If you want traffic or awareness, I really wouldn't recommend touching either of these. I know they sound nice, but really they don't convert. So, okay. A/B testing. I wouldn't do this right now. There are certain use cases for it, but just for the purposes of this training, we'll just go with a straight campaign. Advantage campaign budget. Yes, we do want to turn this on. So what this basically says is Facebook, we will give you a certain amount of dollars per day for you to spend. And I want you to use your machine learning and your algorithm to allocate the spend to whichever ads you think will best get us conversions. So this is what we wanted to do, is basically allocate the budget wherever it feels that it will get the most conversions from the ads that we are going to set up. I know for this client, they want to do $25 per day. So this is a daily budget. You can set a lifetime budget if you want, and it will allocate everything accordingly until the budget runs out. So that's where you can set it. They are trying things like budget scheduling or increasing your budget during specific time periods. Like if you know that your audience is online between the hours of 8 and 12, and that's your peak hours, and you want to increase the budget then and then bring it back down as there's closing time and it gets closer to midnight or something like that. For the most part, we don't really mess with it. We just let the ads run at all times because people are just on their phones and on their computers at random times of the day. So that's all good. Run ads all time. That's great. So we'll click on next. And I don't know why my computer is looking like this, but sorry about that. So now we're on the ad set. So remember, we've established what the campaign objective was. Now we are in the ad set level. So we are going to establish who are we going to show these ads to? Who is the audience? So let me do the naming convention again. All right, so now we've got DCT, which again is a dynamic creative test, and I'll go over what that is in just a second. I'm using the benefits angle in the copy of the ad. Now, if you don't know what the angle or the concept of the type of ad that you want to run, you can leave this blank for now, or you don't have to name it. But the audience is going to be males and females over the age of 25. And again, it's going to a broad audience. And I believe that they are targeting Georgia's zip code. So let me just put that in there. So I know as a frame of reference what uh, just by looking at the name, I know exactly what is happening in the ad set. Again, totally up to you, however you want to name this. It's only for your internal reference. Okay, now moving on to the conversion side of things. So where is the conversion taking place? Is it an opt-in form on a website? Is it an instant form on Facebook where they just click a button and then a little pop-up appears where they can enter their name, email, and phone number, but they don't even leave the Facebook slash Meta platform? Do you want to get messages through the Facebook Messenger or DMs through Instagram? Um, so wherever the conversion is going to take place, that is where you specify the location. So for this one, we are driving ads to a website where there is an opt-in form, and I'll show you that in a second. But that is where the conversion happens. So we're going to choose website. Performance goal, maximize number of conversions. I mean, there are other goals here if you want landing page views, link clicks, unique reach impressions. Obviously, we want conversions, which are opt-ins in this case. So for us, we're just going to choose conversions. The pixel, hopefully you've set up the pixel already and it's on your website or it's on your page. I know for certain that this company has already set up their pixel, and the conversion event is going to be a submit application. So there are other, standard events: subscribe, search, add to carts, things like that, donations, initiate checkouts, purchases. For this one, it is going to be a submit application. So that's what we want people to do, or that's what we want the objective of the ad to be. And one of the ways that I can check is if I go to the homepage, or not the homepage, but the application page. So this is the page that people will see after they've clicked on the ad. And if I scroll down and I look at the button here and I fill out this form, which is the opt-in form that I was talking about earlier, and submit it, and I click the add me to your wait list or submit or whatever the case is, I know that this is the thank you page. So thanks for your interest. This is the page that they see after somebody opts in, meaning a conversion happened. So that is what I want to track. I want to make sure that I'm tracking the number of people filling out that opt-in form and seeing this thank you page. The only way that they can get to this page is if they have filled out an opt-in form. And if you download something called a Metapixel Helper up here, this is a Chrome extension for the Chrome browser. And if you go to the Google Store and you look up Metapixel Helper, you can download it and it'll install into your Chrome browser. And if I click on this and if I just reload it, give me 1 second, this is what shows up. So now I can verify that there is a pixel installed, right? So this is their pixel that we were just talking about that tracks everything that you do on the internet. And then the conversion action, again, is a submit application. So if we look on our ad, again, submit application. So those are the same. We're good there. That's the conversion event that I want to have happened. So if you have any trouble with installing the pixel, or you need help to define what events the pixel should fire for or anything like that, you can talk to a web page developer. We may have some other training on this as well. So just refer back to either that training, or you can hire someone to help you install the Facebook Pixel Helper. It's not Pixel Helper, but the actual pixel itself. It's very easy and straightforward. Okay, so moving on, just for the purposes of this training, we're just going to assume that all of this is true, that you have a pixel installed and you also have it on your website and it is firing the correct conversion action, which is, in this case, a submit application. If it's a purchase, if it's an add to cart or some other conversion action that you want to have happened, obviously this is where you would specify it. So for this one, again, submit application. Attribution settings, I wouldn't worry too much about. This is more of an advanced tactic stuff that we would kind of mess with. But for the most part, this is all stuff that you probably don't even need to mess with. Okay, dynamic creative. So remember when I keep on saying that these are DCTs or dynamic creative tests, this is exactly it. So I'm going to turn this on and click continue. What dynamic creative is it is a setting that allows Facebook to put together an ad, which is a headline, a creative image, and ad copy, text together in a certain format that will that has the algorithm decide what would be the best order to show that to someone who is most likely to convert. So remember that Facebook's algorithm knows everything about everybody on their platform, and it's analyzing millions and millions of data points for each individual profile. So we want to lean on that and we want to rely on that to essentially uh, put together the ad for us so that it'll get us a conversion. Now we're going to give Facebook all of the assets. We're going to give it the copy. We're going to give it choices for headlines. We're going to give it choices for images and creatives. But the order that it is shown in and how it is put together, we leave entirely up to Facebook. We don't try to create the best ad that we think is going to be the best thing that gets conversions because we're not our own customers. We may think we know, but in the end, it's the market that decides. So I'm going to leave this dynamic creative turned on, and that will signify that it is now a dynamic creative test because everything in marketing is a test. So um, budget and schedule, if is a specific date that you want to start on, or if there's a specific time that you want to start, then obviously this is where you'd specify that. If there's a specific end date, you can set it to stop serving ads at a certain point. It's totally up to you. This one I will just leave on. Um, and budget scheduling and ad spending limits. I mean, if you have an ad spending limit that you want to specify, again, if you don't want to spend over like $1,000 for the campaign, for example, then you would just say, $1,000 here, and then it'll stop spending after it reaches $1,000, even if you've specified it to end, in 2 months or in a month. As long as it hits that threshold of $1,000 first, it'll stop spending and it'll turn off the account or turn off the campaign. Again, most of the stuff we don't really mess with anyway. So, okay. Audience controls. So this is where you would actually specify who you are serving the ad to. Again, like I said, it's going to serve to a broad audience. A broad audience means age, gender, and location. Those are the only things that I'm going to specify. Other than that, I don't do any kind of interest targeting or trying to get specific groups of people or any of that because number one, Meta is getting rid of that anyway. They're phasing out a lot of the interest-based targeting, and they are making you rely more and more on their algorithm and targeting a broad audience, and then letting your creative, meaning your copy, your ad, do the targeting for you by calling out specific who you would like. So for this one, Advantage plus audience. This is again like a new format that Facebook is trying to push, where it's much more machine learning, AI based. I It's not there yet, so again, I would switch to the original audience options and use Advantage or not use Advantage plus, but use original audience. All right, so that way we can have a little bit more control, at least, of the age, gender, and location facts. So if I scroll down, and it'll continue to push this Advantage Plus thing on you, just ignore it. So the location. Obviously, this is going to go to certain zip codes in Georgia. I will grab those and I will plug those into here. If there is a specific state that you want to target, if there is a specific area, you could edit it to be in a certain demographic location. You can drop a pin specifically somewhere, like let's say, I don't know, in Bend, Oregon, and I wanted to drop a pin there and target a radius around Bend, Oregon, for, I don't know, let's say like 20 miles, or if this was your location or your building or whatever the case is, this is where you would specify that. I know for a fact that this particular company and this campaign, they want to specify certain zip codes. So I will enter those in after this. And yes, but this is exactly how you would do your location targeting. You can enter in an address, you can enter in a state, a zip code, a city, whatever the case is, however it's applicable to you. So, and then as far as age is concerned, I will edit the age to be 25 and up. So this is 25, like I said in my headline over here, 25 plus. So 25 to 65, 65 is the 65 plus is the maximum age range that Facebook has. The reason being is because we are targeting parents in this campaign, all the way up to grandparents and yeah, and beyond that. So and great grandparents. So we just leave it 25 to 65 plus. Gender, if you want to target only women or if you only want to target men, totally up to you. This one in this case is targeting both male and female, grandfather, grandmother, mother, father, uncle, aunt, what have you. So we're just going to click on all. Um, and then this is where this interest, demographics, and behavior targeting comes in. You may have heard of interest-based targeting before. We totally leave this alone and we don't really touch it. So don't worry about this. Exclusions, I would not worry about either. And then languages, if your copy is written in Spanish or you only want to target a specific language group like Spanish or Swedish or whatever the case is, this is where you would specify it. But because the copy that I'm going to input is written in English, it will automatically be served to English speakers. So nothing to do there. But if you wanted to edit the language, this is where exactly you would edit it and just type in whatever language that you want to target. All right. So let me input these zip codes. So hang on. All right. Okay. So that was a lot of zip codes to enter there. So these are all the zip codes that they want to target. Again, you can target by state, you can target by city. Totally up to you, but you can add multiple zip codes, multiple states, multiple cities. Age range, again, 25 plus. Now the placements. Advantage plus placements basically means that you will allow Facebook to put your ad in wherever the inventory is best served. Unless there is a specific reason you want to only be on Facebook stories or you only want to be on Instagram stories or something like that, this is where you would specify it. So if I clicked on show more options, um, you can kind of filter out exactly where you want your ad to be shown. So totally up to you. You can go through this and see if there's certain areas that you want your ad to be shown or not shown, and then kind of go from there. But for the most part, we don't really touch this. We usually leave it on Advantage Plus targeting. We just found that it's much better to just let Facebook kind of decide where is the best place to serve an ad because they know their audience the best. But again, if you wanted to edit it and use manual placements, you can, and then you can figure out like, okay, I only want to be on Instagram or I only want to be on Facebook. I don't want the audience network. I don't want Messenger, whatever the case is. Okay. So that's the placements tab. Advantage Plus is for us. All right. Okay, so now that we've got the ad set all set up, now we know who we're targeting, what age group, and all of that. So now we're just going to click down here on the next button. And now we're on the very bottom level, which is the ad. So this is the exact ad that's going to be shown to somebody that's scrolling through Facebook or Instagram. This is the copy that they're going to see, the image that they're going to see. All of that gets specified here. So let me go ahead and do the naming convention again. All right, so now we have the ad name, and for our naming conventions, we usually go with the angle of the concept in the copy. So this is a benefit angle, and I'll show you exactly what I mean when I write the copy, or when I take the copy. And we're using static images, which means they are just still pictures, lifestyle images, those types of things. And then the conversion event is happening as an opt-in on the website, and then of course the date. Again, totally up to you. However you want to name these ads, that's your call. Partnership ad, only if you're running it with another brand. So like Nike and Reebok were running an ad together, they would have to click this and then it would show in the heading Nike in partnership with Reebok or something like that. For the most part, you won't ever have to touch this. Make sure that it's the correct Facebook page. So this is the correct Facebook page and the Instagram account. Just make sure that you specify those and make sure that those are correct. And now for the ad setup itself, I'm actually going to, hang on one second. The ad setup I'm going to do as the creative source, manual upload, because I'm going to manually upload these. If you have a Shopify store or something like that, or a catalog, this is where you would upload it. Format, it's going to be a single image or video. You could also try carousels, which are ads that have an image and then you just keep scrolling to the right and there's more images there. It's the same ad though. You might have seen those. So something to test if you would like to. For this training though, I'm just going to do single image. Multi-advertiser ad, that just means that your ad might be shown alongside someone else within the same kind of category or within the same genre as the person that is looking through stuff. If, let's say, they were looking for shoes, maybe they might show like the Nike ad next to the Reebok or the Adidas ad. Those two might be shown together. That's just what multi-advertiser ads means. We leave it checked. It's just best practice. We might as well get the brand exposure if we're going to be shown alongside other, even competitors, if you will. So that's that. Okay. Now, as far as the ad creative, this is where you specify exactly um, what type of ad is going to be shown or the creative it is, and also the text itself. So, ad creative, obviously, you would select the images or the video here, and then you would upload it. So for this one, I believe they have images already available. So if I click on this, yeah, so then you would just specify which image you want here, and then you would upload it, or you would just click on continue after you have specified it. Now for this one, for these ads, I recommend doing a 3-2-2 approach, which means three creatives, three images, two headlines, and two different sets of copy. This gives Facebook, again, it's a dynamic environment, so it can mix and match the creatives with different headlines and different copy. With the 3-2-2 method, that gives you 12 different ad variations. And we think that that's kind of been the sweet spot to not have way too many ads or way too many copy variations or variations of an ad to choose from. 12 is kind of the upper limit of the amount of variations we want to give Facebook's algorithm. Otherwise, you'll never be able to determine a really clear winning ad combination, which we will do probably within a week from now. So let me upload these images first and I'll be right back. Okay, I have gone ahead and just added three images here from the account. If you don't have any creatives or if you don't have images or copy, refer to one of the trainings that will teach you how to do the creative or how to do the copy. And then this is where you would input it and upload it into your campaign. So I just chose the three images here. It's a good variation of images. You know, you've got people smiling, you've got kids having fun on a horse. That's, you know, all results driven images there. So that's the three there of the 3-2-2 method. Optimize creative for each person. I'm actually going to turn this off because that will introduce another level of variability to the ad. So that I don't want that, because if we optimize it for each person, that means that it'll have even more variation added to it, which means that we still won't have a high confidence in a particular ad unit that Facebook puts together that we can rely on for long term. So I just turned this off just for the way that we test these things. All right. Primary text. You can add your primary text here, and then again, you can add another variation of it. I think you can add up to 5, but like what I recommend is at least 2, or at maximum 2, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and just enter in the primary text here into both options, and then I'll also enter in the headline as well. Descriptions we don't really mess with because, and we don't even put anything in there because 98% of the time they are not seen. Only in very, very, very rare instances will they ever get shown as part of the ad. So we just leave this blank for most of the time. And then obviously the website URL. This is where you want the landing page to be. So this was that landing page that I had shown before earlier in the training. of where the conversion is supposed to take place. So this is, the landing page that you want people to go to from clicking the ad. So that's that. And then if there's a specific way that you want that web page to be shown as part of the ad, this is where you would enter it. And I'll show the ad preview after I have entered in all of this stuff. So give me 1 second. All right, so now I have inputted all of the text. So this is one variant of the text here. This is the second variant of the text here. So remember 322. So 3 images, 2 sets of copy, and also 2 different headlines. So this is headline 1. This is headline 2. And I just turned on the ad preview here. And so now, as you can see, all of the text is here, and here's the headline. Here is the website URL. And if you wanted to have a different URL, so this one just happens to be camphelpkids.org, learn more. But if you wanted it to be, I don't know, google.com or something like that, as you can see, it changes to google.com. That's just the display. It does not actually take you to google.com. Whenever they click this learn more button, it will always go to the final website URL. So website URL looks fine here, so I'll just take that out, camphelpkids.org, just in case someone opens up another tab and wants to type it in directly or something like that. Then you can have your display link say that. If I wanted to take a look at what the ads look like, I can click on Advanced Preview. I can see it in all different, like the Instagram feed, profile. I can change out the image just to see what it looks like with this type of copy. I can change out the different types of text if I wanted to. Let's see here. There we go. And then just change it to the other variant of the text just so I can see kind of what it looks like before the fold, before the see more button here. And then, yeah, so that's one way that I would be able to tell what the ad looks like just in case I wanted to see more of it. And then just X out of that. All right, almost done. Browser add-ons, we don't really add, just if there is a very direct conversion, in this case being the website opt-in page, then that's all we want. We don't want to add a call button. We don't want to add an instant form, none of that stuff. So this is just in case you wanted to add it, but again, we wouldn't recommend it. Call to action, they have several different options here. You can click on learn more. Let's see, sign up, yeah, download, donate now, contact us. Myriad of different options. We usually go with learn more. That's kind of a universal call to action that we've established. So that works really well. So that's that for that. And then tracking. Of course, you want to make sure that your pixel is installed and all set up. And if you don't have that all set up yet, or the tracking is not installed, talk to a developer, or if possible, watch some other trainings on how to properly install a Pixel. You have a website, or not a website, but a phone app. This is where you would click to track that. Offline events, I will check as well, just because there is a way to specify if a conversion happened and it may not have been tracked, or something, if you have a store and you have sales that happen at a cash register or something like that, where this is not easily tracked on Facebook, but maybe they came in through an ad or something like that. They came into your store through an ad. This is where you would do that. I would still recommend to always track offline events just in case. And that is pretty much it. URL parameters. This particular client did have URL parameters set, so I will input that here. What those are is just tracking parameters if you're using something like Google Analytics, so you can kind of tell where the conversion came from. It's not 100% accurate, but sometimes it is good practice to have the tracking parameter there just in case you want to see, if this particular ad drove a particular conversion. This is where you would input that. So let me go ahead and add that in. I know they have one pre-built, but if you ever wanted to build one, you just click on build a URL parameter, and then you would just enter in, whatever it is that you wanted to be tracked. So campaign source is usually like a campaign name. Campaign medium is usually going to be either the campaign name or the ad set name, just so you can kind of filter out which ad set it came from. Campaign name is obvious, and then content, if you wanted to um, specify if there's like specific copy or if this is going to a specific audience or something along those lines. You can even just type it in, moms, or this is going to parents, something like along those lines, and it'll build out your parameter right here. So that's how you would build out a parameter if you wanted to keep track of that. All right, so let me input that. All right, so for this particular case, the source is Facebook, so that way they know that it came from Facebook. The medium is CPC, so they know it's paid advertising and not an organic post. The campaign is dynamically inserted, so it would be this campaign name here that they would see on their analytics. The content would be the ad name, so they would see the name of the ad on their analytics. And then term, if they wanted to, would be parents, because this is addressing both moms, dads, parents, grandparents, what have you, because it's a male and female audience. Um, Obviously, you can change that to whatever you wish if you do want to use those UTM parameters. And that's pretty much it. That is the entire start to finish of a campaign creation. So what we've done is we have, let me go through. We have the campaign. Let me just filter this so that it's easier to see. Okay, great. So we have the campaign, which is, the objective, what we want, which is website opt-ins. If we filter down one more level, it's the ad set. I don't know why that's not showing up. Oh, because, hold on. We have the ad set level again. So this is who we are showing the ad to. Again, this is a male and female audience, anyone that is above the age of 25 within the Georgia zip codes that were specified. It's a broad audience, so we're just name, or not name, gender, age, location, and that's all we specify for that. So that's on the ad set level, and then the ad itself is a dynamic creative test. So we've inputted 3 different images. We've put in 2 different sets of ad copy, and we've also input 2 different headlines. So what Facebook will do now is mix and match all of those elements to create a perfect ad for the specific individual at the right, time, right message, right place, basically, so that a conversion will hopefully happen. And that is the entire creation process. And now we are ready to review and publish. So all I have to do now is just click review and publish. This is the campaign. This is the ad set. This is the ad that will now be published. I will go ahead and publish this. And then once it is published, it goes through a review process internally through Facebook's machines. And if it is all good to go, which it should be, we should see delivery probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes. And then it'll deliver accordingly. So the reason why it says no ads, because of course it's going to be processing the ads. And like I said, it goes through this internal verification and just internal checks on the Facebook side of things. Once that is given the okay, it turns on, and then this will say active after that. And that is the entire training. So good luck with it all. Feel free to watch this again and again and follow step by step. Hopefully Facebook does not change the interface tomorrow. They have been known to do that after I've done trainings. So if the interface looks a little bit different, it should relatively be in the same area, the buttons and things like that. So good luck with everything, and hope you found this valuable. And yeah, happy advertising.